Hi, we're Andy and Sherry, and this is our Nomadic Midlife. The reason we decided to do this full time and live in a truck and travel the world is because it's just kind of who we are. When we first met 30-some years ago, one thing we valued in each other was the ability to travel, to be at home anywhere, and to be willing to try something different.
We've always kind of known that travel was part of our dream. And so travel just always felt just like that dream that we wanted, but could never achieve because we were so stuck on just making a living. It was really the idea of this style of travel that was only a few years ago that really came into focus for us. Shortly after the pandemic happened, we slowed down enough to kind of put some thought into our dream. And we originally had the vision of converting a school bus. Because we truly want to travel internationally, we want to go all over the world. And one of the things we love is finding ourselves kind of in very remote places. Just really, a school bus probably wouldn't have done that for us. And specifically about this platform, the Fuso platform, and it's very hard to find in North America a mid-size, medium-duty utility truck that had stock 4x4. And the Fuso was one of those that had it. This is our 2010 Mitsubishi Fuso, who is named Walter Mitsubishi. It's a factory four-wheel drive. It has high-low range, which is an amazing feature for us because that allows us to slow crawl through some very unique off-road environment. The bull bar was designed specifically for this truck. It actually tilts down because this is a cab-over engine model. Up on top, we have our brush rack. This is from AAV, which is Australia Adventure Vehicle. This winch is a Sherpa winch. This Sherpa winch is 25,000-pound winch, so that should help us get out of trouble or help somebody else get in trouble. We had the ability to put in a lot of these lighting from Code 4 LED. This has been wonderful, game changer, and these owl lenses here will give us just all the light we need. Plus we have on the side up here, we have two kind of camp spotlights from the side of the cabs on both sides, so we can select any of those we want for getting ourselves into a campsite.
We needed to find a way to design steps that would come parallel to the rig instead of perpendicular. The way we ended up doing that was buying these torque lift stairs and building a deck for them to reside underneath and a cargo bay for them to be stashed in under there. So this whole thing pulls out and then the stairs come down this way. We just added a game changer by securing a boot brush to the deck that we can brush our shoes off on, and that helps tremendously.
This is where we do kind of most of our kind of living room environment. So we have some external speakers here. This was the original stock fuel tank. It carried 33 gallons, and on the other side, we added an additional fuel tank to double our range. This bay is designed specifically for things like our filtration system. So this is a 3-stage filter system. Want to make sure that we can take water from most any location and filter it to keep safe. A vehicle like this originally comes with dually tires. Dually tires tend to be a bad choice for off-road environments. So by upgrading to these super singles allows us to utilize our access to places that we want to go a lot better.
So these cargo bays in the back, we call this the garage. And if we open this up, on this side, we've got our tubs of just stuff that we usually use on a regular basis. This space right here is for our kayak. The kayak is currently over on the beach. So when we were choosing a color for Walter, we knew that we wanted something that was friendly, something that was approachable. So we wanted a bright color. We chose this bright yellow. Durabac was the paint that we wanted to go with, and they happened to have this really cool yellow, so we really liked it. So we put on the yellow paint ourselves after we fiberglassed this whole thing. We went ahead and got a shop to do the graphics because I knew what I wanted for a look for the graphics, but I did not trust my hand painting it. So all the black is vinyl and all the yellow is Durabac paint.
So a lot of people want to know how long it took to build a rig like this. In a nutshell, we did it in about 2.5 to 3 years. We built this whole thing from scratch. Also, not only were we building this rig, we were actually getting rid of all of our other possessions. So we had sold our home. We had contracted with people we sold it to that we could have 1 year to work in the shop and live in the apartment above our shop. So during that time, we were building out our rig.
We had to build this in the barn. We built this habitation box on on top of the sled over the course of a winter. And then we rolled the sled out of the barn. And then the next day we got a big old huge crane to pick up this huge box and carry it over and put it on the subframe that we had built on the back of this truck.
It's easy to come up with an idea and a dream. The harder thing for me is to finish. I got really depressed a lot. I think the build, even though it was in my wheelhouse as far as technical skill set, the sense of the process and the trial and error got me overwhelmed. The best I could think of is like, a marathon runner who is barely surviving. On the back end of this truck, we've got a lot going on. First of all, we got the controls for our onboard air compressor, so we can air down and air up based on the environments of the tracks that we're traveling on. Back here, we've got 2 spare tires. I designed this bumper just to kind of get clearance for when we're off-road environment. We actually had a ductless mini split here. And on this side of the truck, the driver's side, one of my favorite bays I want to show you, this is where all the electronics are stored for our habitat. And what's unique about this system is it's actually a combination of 24 volt and 12 volt. We can isolate out each individual system. So if I need to do any troubleshooting on, the solar or the alternator, I can shut down other parts of the system. And there's 2 pieces here that are unique. This one up inside out here and this one here. These are the 2 units that will take the 12 volt maybe off of the alternator and bring it up to 24 volt when it's charging the batteries. And then any energy coming out of the batteries gets converted back from the 24 volt back down to 12 volt. This is basically my workshop. All my tools and resources are just right in here. It was a big sacrifice from the lifestyle I used to have, but it serves my need for maintaining the vehicle and doing a little side project.
So the final bay doors on the driver's side here. This one here is our recovery gear bay. We have, of course, our sticker wall. If we have met you, we get to put your sticker on our wall, and we love all these great people we've met. Inside the recovery bay, we've got our Go Treads. We use these for traction devices as well as leveling blocks. Also in our recovery bay, we've got the hatchet. We've got this big silky saw that we use for trimming limbs when we are in a space that is just too short for us. Sometimes we have to trim a limb. And then we also have a shovel. We got stuck on a beach down here in Baja, and we did have to dig ourselves out, lay down our Go Treads, and find a way to roll out of it. Up here on the roof is actually my favorite place. I come up here in the mornings with my coffee and just hang out up here, which is fun because you can access it right off of our bed. So we've got 1,000 watts of solar up here on these 10 panels, and then we've got Starlink mounted on the roof. We've got a special magnetized Starlink there. There's also the Max fan, and it's a great skylight. We do star watching at night from in bed. We get to just watch the stars. So that's really fun.
So when we first came to the conclusion we wanted a vehicle like this, obviously considered buying something straight up.
We couldn't really afford to just buy something outright, even a kit all at once. We didn't have the money for that. We spread this over 3 years.
The vehicle, we bought it for like $28,000. We were targeting, could we do this full build, vehicle included, under $100,000?
That was the goal.
Yeah.
We didn't quite make it. Knowing that the big rigs are like $500,000. 125 to me still sounds really expensive. Like, oh man, just into a vehicle. So it's kind of expensive for a vehicle, but it's pretty cheap for a house. So one thing we want to do as we travel is always have the flag of the country that we're in the background here. It just makes us look more friendly, and I think it'll be fun in our videos that we have on YouTube and stuff just to see where we are when we're making this video.
There are some particular things that we upgraded that were very important to us. First thing was the seats. The stock seats just were a no-go for us. We ultimately ended up with these Baja style racing seats. These have internal suspension. They're not air ride, but they have like a bungee style suspension built into them. And they've got the bolsters along the side here, so that kind of holds us in place, makes us feel we can resist some of the movement of our truck when we're in off-road mode. We gutted the old sound system out of here and put in a Kenwood stereo here. And this Kenwood allows us to also do our maps and navigations associated with this. We've also put in some fire extinguishers on the side. Through here behind the flag was our original window. We tore out and put a panel in there. And at some point, we will cut this open and create a pass-through to our living environment.
Oh hey guys, I'm so sorry. I have to interrupt this video real quick to tell you about one of our affiliate partners, Native Camper Vans. If you want to rent a camper van, try out van life, try out living nomadically, maybe you want to fly into LA, pick one up, drive down to Baja, check out the scene, you can do that at Native Camper Vans. They've got 3 selections and they don't even cost that much more than a minivan rental. They have locations all around the West Coast, and if you use my code JUICEBOX at checkout, you get 10% off of your order. Back to the show.
Andy was a custom cabinet maker and furniture builder for most of his career. So that really shows in the detail and the design work that went into this. The interior is all done in bamboo plywood, which we had to special order. The countertops are Corian. We actually doubled up the Corian just on this bullnose edge here. So it really is only half of this depth here. So it's pretty lightweight. Andy built me this spice rack, which I love. I love to cook. So we've got everything Velcroed down. Here are my utensils here, and they stay in place. The teapot here is Velcroed into place. We've got our paper towels here, which are not paper. They are the reusable flannel ones, and I love them. All of our control, everything is up here. So we've got our lights, and we've got our color whatever thingy here to monitor all of our tanks and our electrical systems. We do have a microwave, which is kind of bougie and luxurious for this lifestyle. It is a convection microwave, so we can actually bake and roast in it too, which is really nice. This is just food storage, just pantry. This also is pantry, more like bottles of things and oils and all that. These are my refrigerators. I do have 2 of them. I am a little spoiled. This one is everything except produce and beverages, and this one is all produce. Down below is our beverages. Everything is slam latches, so they've got this little hook here and a little hook inside here, so they slam shut. This is our induction cooktop. So this pulls out and gets plugged in up on a counter. That way we didn't have to use a big old counter space thing permanently for the cooktop. And here we've got silverware and other kitchen utensils. And down here is our pots and pans. The sink here is actually a bar sink. We do have running water, which is nice. And then we've got our produce here in these little baskets. This is our dish rack here, which also functions as our toothbrush holder. So the nice thing about building it yourselves is you can really design it exactly the way you want it. For instance, Andy asked me, how tall do you need these upper cabinets? I told him specifically I need them this tall, and that is exactly the size they are. This cupboard, again, Andy said, how deep do you need the cupboard for our dishes? And I literally handed him a dinner plate and said, here's the size of our dinner plate. And that is the size of our cupboard. We've got a shoe caddy down here. We have his and hers laundry bins in the back. That's where the laundry goes. There's a bag inside that bin. And so when it's laundry day, we can each just pick our bag up out of the bin, and there's our bags to go to the laundromat. Over on this side also, we have our bathroom. A lot of people don't even notice it when they first walk in the door. We do have a composting toilet that slides out on its own little tray here. Also, this is our shower area. I'm actually standing in the shower, and this grate covers a shower pan under the floor. This is our shower head, and it magnetizes right here, and then the hose ties around into the sink right here, and we have a diverter valve to move the water from here to here, and we can turn it off at the shower head so we don't waste any water. So there will be a curtain that comes around here. We're not really using this shower yet. We're also going to put in an outdoor shower, and right now we've been in enough places that we don't really have to use our own shower. It says that on the side of our truck in 2 languages, making friends along the journey. And we've put that in English and Spanish because we're going to do the Pan American highways. Making friends along the journey is so important to us. We know that there's value to the people that we meet, and as much as we want to be a blessing to the people we encounter in the world, we want them to be a blessing to us. We want to learn from people. We want to benefit from their life experiences too. And so we need to get out of our comfort zones so that we can be the learners. As far as what's our overall message, it probably comes down to our slogan, less stuff, more stories. You have to get your focus off of your possessions before they possess you.
This space right here we call the basement. So in the basement, we put extra blankets, some extra supplies, linens and things that we just kind of store inside here. Underneath each of these seats are water tanks. We carry pretty close to about 70 gallons of water on board here. Below the bed is our dining table. It comes out, we can take it part way out. If we have our company need all 4, we can bring the table all the way out. Underneath this floorboard is where we store those Tesla batteries. You saw on the back of the rig, the compressor side of the mini split, but here we have the interior portion of that. Above us here, we're not much to the TV watchers, but occasionally we wanna watch a YouTube video. We can sit it in bed, I'll watch here, or if I'm editing a video, I can kind of sit right here and put my computer up there and work off of the TV in this set. Originally, this bed was designed as a slider unit, like an RV. Redesigned this to be more of a futon style bed. Pop this guy up right here, and I won't go all the way right now, but this thing comes out and you see the bed just kind of folds down into position. So up here is our storage for our personal items. So we've got a his and hers side to this. On the upper sections are our cupboards for just, clothing. It's perfectly sufficient for all of our needs. And we have some compartments down below for miscellaneous things like our socks and underwear and things like that. And behind we have our tall cupboard for some clothing, shirts and dresses and things like that up in here. We usually access that when the bed is down. The hatch is just a wonderful place for us to lie here and enjoy a beautiful view, a starry night, a lovely moon that's shining, whatever it may be. This is one of the most important parts of the build for me. This is a piece of artwork from my mom who passed away many years ago. In the years of her midlife herself, she had just explored so many new things. She wanted to explore art and beauty and travel. And this is just a wonderful reminder because just is reflecting the spirit of exploration of ourselves, our new ideas, new things, and then beautiful places to go see.
I think if we had to do this all again, I would definitely tell myself, just relax and learn things. You don't have to know how to do things ahead of time. You don't have to be good at things the first time.
And for me, like the comparison to others, there's no perfect rig out there. There's no perfect vehicle. Just allowing myself the freedom to enjoy the process a little more. Literally what you see here is all we own next. We got rid of everything. 30 plus years, a lifetime of, basically setting up home, raising kids, having parents who passed away, so we're inheriting all their things. Dealing with all that stuff was the bigger challenge than building this for me.
You can't follow a dream like that unless you give up all the other dreams. I love this lifestyle. Our views change out our windows every day, and we meet amazing people, and everything I thought was going to be so cool about this lifestyle is.
We've been on the road for about half a year now, and our goal is to stay on the road until we physically can't.
So if you want to follow along, we are at Nomadic Midlife, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and then I write a blog and it publishes every week about our adventures, and that is at sherrychidwick.substack.com. Thanks for taking a tour of our home today.
If you see us out on the road, come say hi.